So this function, this method will run every time the mouse moves. So every time the mouse moves, we want to put the x and y positions of the ship equal to the mouse. So we say ship dot x is equal to main, well, wait, mouse x, and ship dot y is equal to mouse y. Hit enter, and as you can see, if the mouse moves on the object itself, the object starts to follow the mouse. But this is not what we want. What we want is to add the event listener onto the stage itself. Well, how do you do that? Well, from OBJ. Apparently, if I add this event listener onto the main class, it will be directly added to the stage. So how do we get this event listener added to the stage from OBJ? Well, there are a few ways you can do this. You can say in here p movie clip, and say in here p dot add event listener mouse move, and go back to the definition of OBJ, and at p you will say this. So what we are doing here is we are saying that the p that we put in here is a movie clip and it's equal to this package. So we are creating a link, a direct link to the stage, to the main class. Alright, and then we are adding a event listener to it and running this function. So let's test this. As you can see, we are getting 2 errors. Let me drag the error window for you. And the first error is here. Incorrect number of arguments expected 0. Alright, we already know what the problem is. Of course, this is supposed to go into this, because we don't have a constructor. We have nothing that has the same name as OBJ, so you cannot have a constructor in here. You're gonna need to put it in here because we are calling that one. As you can see, call p. Alright, so let's try it now, and it's still on the object itself. Alright, so how do we fix this? Well, let's say p.stage, and as you can see, it's now on the stage. Alright, we want to do one more thing. Let's put this ship in the middle so that this cross is in the middle of the ship, and if I run it now, you can see it's staying in the middle of the mouse. Alright, so that's good and all, but this might not be the most efficient way of doing this kind of a function, because, well, this class can be stored in another class, and that class can be stored in another class, which leads to the main class. So you would have to do this 3 or 4 or more times to get to the stage. So that's not the most efficient way of doing it. A better way is by creating a static variable. So public static var main with in all caps, and data type is to movie clip inside of your main class, and say inside of your constructor you say main is equal to this. Let's remove this, save it, go back to the OBJ class and remove this p, And in here, for the event listener, we can now say main. So this is the class name, as you can see, the main class. And then we can specify a static variable dot main. As you can see, flash cs5 is giving me the hint of all static variables of this class, so I can just double click that. And then I say dot stage dot add event listener. So now I have direct access to main from any class instead of just this one class. So if I run it now, you can see it works fine. Alright, so one last thing, maybe a tip for game developers or animators. Here's a good formula for using a motion type of animation towards the mouse. You can simply say x or y plus equals, open and close parentheses. Oh, let me select this. Destination minus ship dot x, so location, and divide that by a number like 15. And let's do this for y as well. So mouse y minus y and divide that. Alright, let's test this, and as you can see, the ship now is moving towards the mouse instead of just hanging on to it. So how does this work? Well, it checks the destination and it says minus the position and divides that by a numbers, and the larger the number is, the slower it will go, and the smaller it is, the faster it will go. Alright, so try to remember, this is actually a very useful formula. I use it a lot. It's very easy to remember. It's just destination minus position and divide that by a number. Alright, so I like to end this tutorial for now and wish you a lot of luck with mastering packages, and we will certainly go further into packages and more complicated methods and functions later on. So good luck and thank you for watching.